We've got the top 5 worst and the top 10 best car deals for the end of the year 2025. Dad, this is the time of year when manufacturers are desperate to sell their cars. Let's run through the best and the worst. How's that sound?
I would love to.
All right, let's start with the worst, Dad. These are the deals you should absolutely not do at the end of 2025. Again, this is the time when manufacturers are desperate to sell their new cars. And these are the vehicles they are not really incentivizing. First on our list, Dad, would be the 2026 GMC Yukon 4-wheel drive Elevation. Now, GMC is not stepping up on this thing. You want a $719 a month lease payment? That's great. You're just going to have to put $14,549 down due at signing. That GMC is not really incentivizing the sale or lease of their 26 Yukon.
No, but they are appealing to the brain dead with the hopes that there's a few people out there that are going to go, yeah, I'd love to come up with about 15 grand and only lease a vehicle for 36 months. Yeah, this is as stupid a deal as I think I've ever seen advertised. I don't know what the hook is, but my guess is if you hook anything, it's probably a bike tire that somebody threw into the river.
Next on our best of the worst list would be the 2026 Chrysler Pacifica. $399 a month sounds like a great monthly payment. That's 42 months though, and costs $4,139 due at signing. This is not a great offer from Chrysler, who is struggling to sell their low nameplate, the Pacifica.
Yeah, they're struggling to sell it, and they're really not doing anything to support it. But, the hope is that somebody will see that and say, yeah, let's get one or two up.
Yeah, but the thing is, folks, a Chrysler Pacifica, these are not selling fast. This should have 0% financing or something like that. Not a lease offer that gets you into a longer term, obviously 42 months, and it has a lot of money due at signing. Next would be another Stellantis product, Dad, the 2025 Dodge Durango. The special offer, Dad, on the Dodge Durango is 6.9% financing for 72 months. Here at CarEdge, we help thousands of people every single month buy new and used cars. You can get a better interest rate from your credit union, folks. 6.9% is not special financing for 72 months. This is nuts.
It's special if you go for it. Hey, they told me I was special. Yeah, you are.
Folks, there are a lot of 0% financing offers, 44 of them for the month of December. Do not fall prey here to a 6.9% special interest rate. Next on our list of the best of the worst year-end car deals for the month of December 2025, Jaguar getting in on the fun with their 2026 F-Pace P250 R-Dynamic S all-wheel drive. Quite a mouthful. Jaguar is struggling to sell these things like crazy, but they're only offering 3.9% financing for 48 months. This is another one that should be, if they had the cash to afford it, 0% for 60 months, Dad.
Well, they're counting on somebody looking at that and going, what's $1,500 to $2,000 a month payment? I'm in. Let's go. Sign me up for 4 or 5.
We know that this is one of the slowest selling cars in the country. Again, not a strong deal from Jaguar. And then pops Stellantis coming in hot again with another vehicle on our best of the worst list for incentives, the 2026 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. The deal here, folks, drumroll please, $1,500 bonus cash allowance for returning owners and lessees. That's it. That's your offer from Jeep to move their most expensive vehicle here. This is absolute absurdity.
They realize at the $1,500 bonus for returning owners or lessees, they realize maybe there's a half a dozen people throughout the entire United States that'll be able to take them up on that offer. So it's not going to cost Jeep very much at all when they offer that $1,500 bonus cash to returning owners and lessees.
So those are your worst of the worst, or excuse me, best of the worst. Now let's look at the best of the best, Dad. First on our list, we're going to run through 10 of the best year-end car deals we've seen for new vehicles right now. And again, a friendly reminder, you always negotiate the out-the-door price. You use our email templates or our AI agents or our concierge service to get you the deal. The incentives are obviously what gets you in the door, though. So keep that in mind here. There are strong incentives, but you got to still do the work to get the dealer discount and the out-the-door price. Nonetheless, the top 10 best year-end deals, Pops, we've got the 2025 Honda Civic LX. $0 down and $350 a month for a 36-month lease. Now we're talking about a deal.
Well, now you're talking about affordability. You're talking about somebody who might need a new car that doesn't have to come up with a lot of cash up front and can have an affordable monthly payment of $350 a month. My guess is you're limited to 10,000 miles a year. I don't know that for a fact, but that would be my guess. It's based on probably 10,000 miles a year. But if you only drive 10,000 miles a year or less, this is a way for you to get into a brand new car with the limited out of pocket and really it's half or more than half, less than half of what the average new car loan payment is. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well below $750 a month. Next on our list, the 2025 Ram 1500. Here we go, Pops. Stellantis stepping up here. 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 25s and 0% financing for up to 60 months on the 26s. This is a big incentive from Stellantis, from Ram, to get folks into their into their 1500 pickup trucks.
absolutely. So if you have the credit score to qualify, you're looking at being able to finance whatever it is, whatever that total amount is, and not pay any interest for the 6 years of the loan on the 2025 or the 5 years of the loan on the 2026. That is a significant savings when you consider that, well, they were offering 6.9% for that Dodge Durango or whatever it was. You can see what the difference would be between, say, 6.9 and zero. It's a huge savings overall.
Next on the list, the 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan SE. We've got a zero down lease offer here from Volkswagen, Dad. For 36 months, you'll only be paying $419 a month. Volkswagen's been struggling to sell their vehicles here in the United States, and here's a strong lease offer from them at under $420 a month.
Yes, and Volkswagen is famous for coming up with their sign and drive deals, lease deals. They've been doing it for years with zero down, zero security deposit, just a relatively low payment, and you get to drive off in your new Volkswagen.
Ford's also trying to get some folks to lease the 2025 F-150 STX. We've got a zero down lease there for 36 months for $479 a month. It's worth mentioning at this point, Dad, that zero down lease deals are never actually zero down. Maybe you can explain that briefly, but that still means in these cases, the manufacturer or the captive finance company is buying down the money factor or increasing the residual value. So like they are incentivizing this. But zero down is a little bit of a misnomer. You're always going to end up putting some money down.
Yeah, the zero down refers to a no capitalized cost reduction. So you're not coming up with an upfront cash down payment to help lower the selling price to the lease company. It does require you to, in many cases, to cover state taxes, title registration fees, things of that nature, maybe even the first payment. So zero down is you're not lowering the price of the vehicle for the lease company by putting a huge down payment, but it's not actually zero out of pocket.
We've got another one here from Ford, a 25 Explorer Active trim. Again, zero down on a cap cost reduction standpoint, $499 a month for 36 months. So again, Ford getting aggressive here at a sub $500 a month price point. And then on the 25 Escape, Stead, they're offering $4,000 in a cash rebate. That's up to 13% off of MSRP coming straight from the manufacturer on the Escapes.
And that is before any discount you can negotiate directly from the dealer. So don't fall for the idea that the only discount you can get is that rebate. There is a dealer discount that you can get on top of that.
Absolutely. That's why you negotiate that out the door price. Next on the list, the 2025 Infiniti QX50. We've got an even bigger cash incentive here from Infiniti, $6,500. That's equal to up to 15% off of MSRP as a cash rebate from the manufacturer. That's massive.
That is. It's also a vehicle that's being discontinued, but it would still be a pretty high quality vehicle. And once you work the additional dealer discount, it seems to me you should be somewhere in the 20 to 22% off between the rebate and the dealer discount.
Which is massive. Next on the list, the 25 Lincoln Corsair, 0% financing here from Lincoln for up to 48 months, or a lease special, $499 a month for 36 months with a $499 cap cost reduction. Still a solid offer here from Lincoln, and offering 0% for 48 is nothing to blink at. And then Toyota getting in on the fun, Dad. They're trying to move the Corolla SE. We've got a lease offer from Toyota. You got to put $4,000 down, do it signing, but then you've got a $179 a month payment for 39 months. That's pretty doggone inexpensive when it comes to Toyota.
It is. And if you don't have the $4,000 to put down, know that for every $1,000 that you don't put down, it'll increase the payment by about $30 a month. So that would increase the payment about $120 a month, which would still put you at what, $299
Yeah.
with 0 down. So that to me would make more sense.
And last on our list is the 2026 Nissan Rogue SV all-wheel drive, 0% financing for up to 60 months, or the lease offer from Nissan. It does have about $5,000 due at signing, but you're at $279 a month for 36 months. Either way, Nissan getting creative here and having to incentivize a lot the sale of the Nissan Rogue.
And that is their number one selling vehicle. So it shows you exactly how much Nissan is willing to incentivize the sale of their number one selling vehicle.
Now, we have all of our year-end resources in one place for you, caredge.com/year-end. That's one word. Go check that out and see what you can learn before you go buy a new or used vehicle. Pops, as always, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure. Looking forward to, well, doing some future videos with you.